My name is Keith Anderson. I'm the Marketing Director at Red 5 Studios. And up with me on stage, I have Mark Kern, the CEO and Chief Creative Officer of Red 5, formerly Project Lead on World of Warcraft. And alongside him, we have Scott Youngblood. He's our lead designer. And previously, he was lead designer on Tribes. So this is kind of what happens when MMOs meet Tribes. And we'll take you through a lot more of that today. Thanks for everyone for coming. We've got our community here, we've got our press here, and this is also streaming live on Twitch TV, so hello to everyone online. For the press, you would have received a press kit from us. In the front pocket of that bag, you will find an eraser-like USB key. All the screenshots and video from today is on this key. It's exclusive for you for this weekend. It will be distributed on Monday across the interweb, so enjoy. And on that note, I'm going to be handing over to Mark Kern. Thank you, everyone, and have a good time.
Here we go. Hey guys, welcome to another PAX. I love PAX. It is my favorite show, and it has a very special meaning for Red 5 because it kind of symbolizes the fact that our industry is changing. We're going from a distribution model that's mostly in stores to digital directly to gamers. And we said, that's what Red 5 is about. We want to go direct to gamers, and we want to embrace the community, and that's why PAX is the show that we choose to go to, and not E3 or some of the other ones. So, a lot of you know that we make Firefall, but I don't think you guys understand why we started Red 5 quite yet, because we haven't really talked that much about it. We started Red 5 because I was tired of making the same games kind of over and over again. Licenses in particular when I came at Blizzard. I mean, World of Warcraft was awesome, my experience at Blizzard was fantastic, but I wanted to do something different. I felt like things were changing in our industry. And surely enough, they have been. And I wanted to create a company that sort of changed everything and created fun. And that is the motto for the company. So what do we mean by that? It means that what we want to do is to not make the same type of MMOs over and over again. Not make the same type of games over and over again. Not do business the way that business has been done in gaming. We wanted to make AAA games free of charge for everyone. We wanted to really enhance the creativity of individuals, not just in our own company, but to encourage it throughout the industry as well. We're in a time where the gaming industry needs fresh ideas, so we want to be a part of that. We want to help encourage that. We want to change the industry, change games, create more fun for people and more fun for gamers. Just play this one? Skip? Please pardon the technical difficulties. Okay, so what Firefall is trying to do, we're doing a lot of firsts. First of all, we are trying the MMO FPS genre, and that is a very difficult path, as you've seen from other games that have attempted it before. But this time, we wanted to interject real action gameplay, real shooting experiences, being a shooter first and foremost, and then selectively adding MMO elements. But we didn't want to add just any MMO elements. We wanted to get away from static quest givers with exclamation points over their head. And we wanted kind of more of an open, sandboxy world where you go out there, missions get pushed to you, and things just happen in the world. So we developed a lot of tech for what we call dynamic encounters, but unlike some other games, our encounters they're not stuck to the ground anywhere. We wanted the server and this game designer AI on the server to place these events wherever they wanted to. And so we developed technology allowing you to have these events occur anywhere in the world, and it's not like we put them there, it's like the game server decided to put it there. We even have events that can move. So like our tornado encounter is a dynamic event that spawns in the world, and it actually moves through it. So this getting away from being fixed to geography and going into more of an organic, time-based thing took a lot of work. And it was something that we're pretty proud of, but we'll continue to work on. But it wouldn't be possible except to try all these new things, except for one thing, which is the way that we approach game development. We wanted to change everything about how game development, and especially MMO development, is done. So what does this mean? This means that a year after we announced, and a year into development, we decided to let the community into the game in alpha form. And we've been in an extensive state of testing through alpha and beta for 2 years now. That's really early. MMOs take 3 to 5 years to build, and normally you don't get to play them until the last 6 months, if even then. They've gotten even shorter, the last 3 months. Well, with the budgets going up and people trying new things, does it really make sense to spend $200 million on something that you haven't tried with your gaming community yet, and then release it in the last 3 months and just hope that it works? We thought that that was a really risky way to go about it, and especially since we wanted to innovate, we knew we had to find a better way. So, Red 5 builds games with community. We really like to connect with them. We really wanted to get people an early taste. We call it sort of like being in the kitchen with the developers. And we're sitting here making soup, and even before the soup is fully seasoned yet, gamers and people get to taste the soup and help us finish it to perfection. So we throw a lot of new ideas out there very early. And this is hugely risky because people aren't used to this type of beta. They come in expecting the game to be finished. They don't expect things to change much during beta to open beta. But that's not us, because we change everything. So, with the help of our beta testers, we've done a tremendous amount of work. We've remade the game probably 3 times. They're on a 3rd iteration. Each time the metrics tell us we're doing better and better. We get data from the game, we have automated systems, and we have extensive feedback and connection with our community that tells us that our recipe is working. We eliminate the risk and we increase the fun all along the way. So this latest patch that's available today changes things yet again. It is the biggest patch we've ever done. There's 26 pages of change notes, and this was all community driven. And this is, I think, really exemplar of the process that we're doing. And what we put out there is still the raw soup. It's still just the raw ingredients that needs the community feedback to help us finish it and polish it to a new state. So we've added a lot of stuff to the game. There are basically new environments that we've added. We've heard loud and clear that the PvE players want more content. So we've been going through the world and adding content. We've changed up the battle frames. We've split them off from PvP so that the PvE frames can be fully craftable, fully modifiable to your heart's content without affecting the PvP game at all. So this gives both camps the best of both worlds. We've created 30 new local events, which are new sort of adventure areas in the world that you can explore, and we've populated them with dynamic events. So when you go there, you're not quite sure what event you're going to get, but it's going to be different from the last time you went there. And we created a new user experience. That was a huge bit of feedback from the team and the community. It's like, hey, we need a way to get new players into the game. The community's been super helpful in chat, helping people to get acclimated, but we thought we'd lend a hand and actually create a tutorial area where you could try this out. Now this is important because you just have one character in Firefall, but you can play every single frame. And one thing that we've changed with this is that we've introduced 15 possible frames, and we plan on introducing even more in the future. So these are things that you can play and unlock in the game, and they all have unique abilities and unique styles. Now, the other thing that we've done that we're very big on is our whole invasion system. The ultimate bad guys of Firefall are the Chosen, and they dynamically come into the world and invade key points in the world and take them over. And so I'll show you a little bit about that.
This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is perhaps...
The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us.
Our sons, rise upon you. This day is set upon a mighty endeavor, the struggle to preserve our republic and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity.
But if we fail, then the whole world, including all that we have known and feared, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age.
You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of men on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance.
hard. Still, there are so many. Some say we can't win, that we've lost too much, that the war is already over. But if this is mankind's last stand, if we're going down, we're not going down without a fight.
Okay, so that's a sneak peek of some of the new chosen siege mechanics that are in the game, and I'll walk you through a little bit of them right now. So the first thing you might have noticed is that we made the invasions a little more elaborate. Rather than the chosen just showing up and shooting people, they lay down siege cannons, these things here, which start to pummel the different towns and POIs in the game with long-range fire. And this fire basically is directed at shield generators around the town. And if they take those generators down, that main shield drops around the Sin Tower, which is kind of like their internet for the world, and then it connects everybody together. And if the chosen take that, you'll lose the whole area. And in order to push back against that, you're going to have to take out the siege towers. They'll flip to your side for a second. You'll have to defend them. You'll have to make sure they don't get the shield generators. And if you don't do all that, the melding will actually come in and sweep over that entire area, and you will lose it. And you don't want to lose it because each of these POIs gives you a specific bonus in the game. For example, we were at Thump Dump, and what Thump Dump does is affect your cooldown timers. And on Sunken Harbor, the other area we're testing right now, we want our users to help us test, you lose an XP bonus. And so you really want to push these areas back. When the melding rushes over it, it's on a 3-hour timer right now before it recedes, and then you can go and take back that POI from the chosen. So we're pretty proud about the enhancements that we've been doing in here. We also have completely buffed the chosen with masks, apparently. Now you will no longer be able to single out chosen from each other. They've got a lot more personality. They say new things, they've got different aspects, they work more like you'd see battle frames working out in the real world. We have snipers, for example, for the first time. I know you thought they were snipers before, but now they're really snipers. And we have engineers, and they have drones, and they also have a new race that they brought along with them called Tortured Souls. And it's a little bit of a mystery about who they are, what they come from, but they're these shambling zombie-like creatures that are hideously malformed and very fun to shoot. So they have distinct roles on the battlefield. We wanted to play more like, example, if you were playing PvP in a team, they kind of have strategies and tactics. And as we refine this, we'll be applying it to, say, the Accord Guards and everything else, and making all the NPCs in our world smarter. Because we wanted to make an action game where shooting the enemies was actually a lot more involved, a lot more fun than it is in the traditional MMO. And don't worry, the full invasion is still coming with these ships that we call Dark Slips. Based on what we learn and what you guys tell us from the siege mechanics we have in right now, we're going to change and roll out a new invasion system for taking the main cities of the world. Okay, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott Youngblood to talk about some of the finer points of what's going in this patch.
All right, so Mark mentioned that we've built this game 3 times now, and he's not kidding. But we've done it, not because we like to change things just for the sake of changing it. We did it based on you guys, right? The way that we're building Firefall is, it's very different. It's very challenging, but we think it's the right way to build video games, right? It's very interactive with you guys. We get to hear what you think, what you want, adopt those changes, and then produce something that hopefully everybody in the world will like to play, right? So thank you for your feedback so far and getting us to this point. So I'll go into detail on some of the changes that we've done to our progression system. We've done this before. We started off as a level-based game to where you would go up in levels, and as you got a new level, you would get access to a piece of gear. Well, the problem with that system was that the higher you went up in the level system, the longer it took, which meant the more time it took you to get a new piece of gear. And so we decided that that wasn't good enough. So we explored some different systems, and we tried some different things. And we got rid of levels entirely, and we invented this new thing called tiers. And we thought that was going to be the right plan, right? That was going to be the final answer for us, because it solved all the level problems. Well, really tiers were just a different name for levels, and we had less of them. And in addition, we also introduced this concept of the tech trees, which at the gate were a lot of fun to go through and unlock all those things and really fill it out and get 100%. You felt like you accomplished something. But through feedback, listening to you guys, we also realized that there were problems with that system as well. And those problems were that, well, you had to take gear that you didn't necessarily want, right? And so sometimes those choices weren't as fun as they could be. Well, they're not as fun as they could be. What can we do to make it more fun? That's what we asked ourselves. That's what you guys were telling us. And so what did we do? Well, we got rid of tiers. They're gone entirely. In addition, we've modified our system to be a little more responding to exactly what you guys want, right? The problem I had with the tech trees was that I couldn't create the guy that I wanted to create, right? The tech tree was driving my progression for me in a way that I didn't want it to. And so we decoupled that from the game entirely. Now you get to modify your constraints by themselves independently. Each one of these constraints also has mechanical benefits. So as you are going up here, I'm increasing my mass. That shows the bar going up to the right. All of these have mechanical benefits in the game. So the more power CPU that you put into your character, the more benefit you'll get from that constraint. The more of the constraints that you use, the more of the benefit goes away. So there's a nice balancing act you guys will be able to do with your constraints. In addition, progression has also changed severely for manufacturing as well too. So here is a prototype. Doesn't look like this in game, so bear with us. The UI that you're going to see in game is pretty ugly. I'm not going to lie about that. And it might confuse you at first, but please bear with us. It's a mechanical test. We want you guys to go out, really build all these items, try and play with them. Tell us what you like, what you don't like about the items, and help us make this game what we know it all can be. All right, so that's a good example of the manufacturing tree. And so these changes, getting away from tiers and going into a tierless structure, affected both PvP and PvE differently. PvP, we equalized all the gear. We took out manufacturing components from the tree so that now it's really your skill that's going to determine who's going to win. We got a lot of feedback that the manufacturing gear was negative for PvP because the guy who had more time could build a better gun than you, and that wasn't fun for a skill-based game. So we learned, and we equalized those battle frames and retuned them for different styles of play for each frame that are both supportive of PvP as well as PvE. Each PvE frame also has abilities that are not available in PvP that will be fun for going out and collecting those resources. All right, and in addition to the changes that we made to our progression system, we've also introduced a bunch of new areas of content that Mark was talking about. Right? All of these areas in the game provide different things that provide different rewards that you'll need in order to progress your frames. So here we've got a video that shows a bunch of these areas. We're just going to fly through some of them and kind of let you know really what these areas kind of look like. And they're scattered all around Coral Forest. Some of these are pretty hard to find. Some of them will be easier to find. But all of the Ares team's missions that occur in these will be communicated to you via the world map. So you'll get notifications to go and sabotage a cave, whatever the particular adventure is. All right, and moving on from these. Thumpers have also improved. So Firefall is a social game. Now, one of the problems I had with the way that Thumpers were working before was I'd be out there collecting my resources, and somebody would come up, and I'd invite them to the squad, but if they didn't see the invite, then they wouldn't actually be in my squad, which meant they were getting no benefit. That was bad. In addition, we got a lot of feedback from you guys, again, that sharing the resources amongst your squad was a disincentive for you to actually play with your friends, right? Because your friends coming with you take some of your resources. That was also undesirable. So we changed that. We made Thumpers extremely social now. So if you throw one down, and anybody that comes up and helps in that area, they get a benefit. It doesn't take any benefit from you. In addition to that, now if you open up your world map, you'll see Thumpers advertised across the map. In addition to that, the Thumper is going to tell you what type of resource it's collecting. So if you're looking for a specific resource type, now you open up the world map, set your waypoint, go there, help, everybody wins. Fun, fun, fun. So this is a very ambitious, aggressive game, right? We've built it like 3 times now based on your feedback. And we're probably going to change some things down in the future, again, based on your feedback. But this is something that we really appreciate and encourage you to keep working with us on this because
It's this team effort between you and us that makes this all possible. And to make that even clearer, like, we're going to do bi-weekly tests where, you know, we're going to ask you feedback. You're going to tell us, we're going to publish what that is, and also display it on a TV series called Behind the Beams, that we're going to be really talking about the feedback that you guys have given us and what we're changing and why we're changing. So I think that's the gist of what I have to say. I'll turn this back over to Mark.
Thanks, Scott. So, yeah, a lot of changes in this patch. We've moved to a MOBA-style system for frames, where you collect frames. Frames have ultimate abilities that you charge up in the field that are really fun to use. An extreme focus on PvE with 30 new, local events and multiple dynamic encounters through the world. And a really rich crafting system that makes it more like Minecraft than anything else. You have to go out and mine resources and get this gear to fully customize your suit. So that's a lot of the different things that we're trying that are pretty new, pretty bold for an MMO FPS. But like I said, Red 5 isn't just about creating games that take risks and innovations. We're about celebrating the risks and the creativity that indie gamers and small developers are taking every day. We love indie development. We think that's where a wealth of great ideas come from. And like us, they're trying to change everything. They're trying to create more fun. Well, when we started out, we had a problem in that we were an unknown studio. No one had heard about Firefall before. No one believed about a AAA free-to-play game back then. And for a company like us, even with funding, it was a little hard to get exposure because most of the exposure that you see on Gaming Network TV is focused on big publishers, consoles, massive titles, and things like this. So we said, why don't we change something else in our industry? Why don't we create network quality game programming that really celebrates equally all the efforts throughout the industry, from mobile to social to indie gaming, as well as some of the big releases. And that is really community driven, that is really tied to the gamer and the community that's been helping us make this game. So we created a channel called Stage 5 Television. And Stage 5 Television is pretty unique. It's free on the web, available right now through YouTube or our website, stage5.tv. But for the first time, we're bringing network quality programming into a free environment here for gaming television. And we hadn't formally announced it till now because we were kind of waiting for some of our lead shows to come online. One of them has come online called Rise of the Indies, where we go and we shoot documentaries. We do all this free of charge. We go out, we meet indie devs, we film them, we do documentary about their game, and then we upload it and put it on the web. But the show that we're launching now is a little different. But before I do that, let me show you a little bit about what Stage 5 TV is about so you can get an idea.
As a player, I enjoy having new and fresh experiences.
It's going to make you think much harder to figure out how to build something like this.
Freaking jetpacks!
Calm down, Michelle.
Good luck, you'll need it. Give me a gun!
I've thought about starting my own studio for my entire career.
The ability to actually reach out directly to the people that are playing your games right now is unparalleled.
We take video game tropes and test them out on a real-world scope.
Bear's coming! You bear!
Where is the key to the...
I don't have it.
I'm really excited to be part of the Firefall cosplay program. It's really a dream come true.
How does it feel when you walk in the shoes?
It's pretty comfortable.
I think this costume looks wonderful.
Hey guys, welcome to Firefall Live.
Firefall Fest 2012, with our two very, very special guests, Nathan Fillion and Allison Hayslip. What's up with that?
It's sort of giving an opportunity for filmmakers and new content creators to like get their work out there in a way that wasn't possible 5 years ago. Fasten your seatbelts. You know, they talk to us about the concept and then they just kind of like let us go.
week of some of our shows that we have on the channel now, plus one that's coming out. Again, it's a show that's really there, again, for gamers and for new creativity out there in game development. So we don't want to just celebrate the people making the games, but we want to celebrate all the gaming culture around it. Shows like Project Cosplay show that off, as well as some upcoming shows like this one. So Game Changers is our lead show. We put a lot of effort into this, and what the concept is basically Mythbusters and Top Gear meets gaming. So we've got 3 hosts. We have Lee Behrman, former American Gladiator and star of our game Typhon. We have Michelle Boyd from Team Unicorn, and Ryan Welsh from the award-winning Bite Me series on YouTube and Machinima. So we've taken them and we have put them to the test. There's nothing these guys won't do to prove that you can do in real life what you can do in gaming. So a key example of that is we strapped on jetpacks. Now everyone's done jetpacks before. We've seen them before at like stadiums and things, but nobody's done it with paintball guns. Can you really shoot people in the air? Can you have a duel that works? We find out in this episode that's available now on our Stage 5 channel, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes that went into it so you can see the quality level that we do in these shoots and the fact that we're very serious about bringing network quality totally to the web.
Probably the most challenging part of the show is trying to get these guys to be able to hit a target with a paintball gun that's strapped to a jetpack that's strapped to their backs while flying over water.
Here's my problem with this. Look at those targets. They're facing us. When we come at them, are we going to be going at them sideways and trying to shoot them too?
Well, no, because that's why you come at this one straight, and then you go around.
The targets would have been a little bigger. That would have made it a little bit easier. Because these are all beginners out there. There would have to be marksmen to hit those targets.
Now, I don't know that we actually took into account how difficult it was going to be coordinating a Sea-Doo and a boat and a helicopter remote camera and 2 guys flying around in jetpacks in a small area of water with a crew on the beach.
Yeah, not only the elements of water, but the fact that they're dueling in the air. I ended up actually pulling the tip off with a Q-tip and sticking it on the end of the microphone because I had an issue with the wind as well. And they don't really make windscreens for those. That's a really high-tech waterproofing device. Oh yeah, absolutely. Top of the line. We used some condoms, wrapped them up nice and tight.
Yeah, definitely like to keep safety a priority. We like to keep a very good distance between the subject and the helicopter.
You had to be a little more safe just because you had these guys as beginners that were trying to fly around these jetpacks. So trying to keep your distance, still being able to get the shot, trying to stay in front of them, keep it safe so they don't run into you and you don't run into them.
There's that wing from the camera boat.
It's harder than it looks. You think you once you get up to a certain point, level out, that you just kind of have to stay still and it'll be cool. No, it's constant readjustments. The pod behind you is getting hit by the wake that you've created, so it keeps like pulling you back. There's all this sort of thing. Bring it on! Bring it on!
I'm gonna be awesome at it. Nothing. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. That was so much fun. I'm ecstatic. That was awesome.
Honestly, when I first started, we all thought Lee was the one to beat. He's the bigger guy, so he was the most stable. Ryan's coming from behind. He's the quick and stealthy one. I don't know, just keeping all of my skills under wraps.
It's like driving a car and going like this. You're always, oh, dude, I went too far right. Oh, I went too far right. Oh, I went too far right. And that never ends. You never come out of it. Let's hurt get in the water because I gotta pee. Sorry.
So there we go. That's some behind-the-scenes footage for our new show, Game Changers, which is available today. You can watch that complete episode. And you can expect a lot more from us as we expand our gaming-focused programming to celebrate gamers and to celebrate creativity in gaming. Now, in addition to being available on Stage5.tv, Shortly, probably within this next week, there's also going to be a iPad application that keeps you up to date on all the new videos, which also includes our Firefall TV and Firefall manga. There's a comic reader built right into it. And this app will also be available, I'm very proud to announce, on the Ouya console system, because we really love what they're doing with consoles, with the whole open nature of the platform, and again, changing everything, creating fun, celebrating indie devs. So we'll be there, right there with everybody else, and we hope you guys tune in for that.